So Ryan Pineda made a video last week where he said cash flow is dumb. And I was really surprised when he posted this because it goes against a lot of what people preach about wanting cash flow. Especially for me, I own over 60 rental properties, and cash flow is a big part of the evaluation process for our deals to make sure that the property actually cash flows. So I jumped on the video because I wanted to see what he had to say about this. Now, if you don't know Ryan Pineda, this man's crushing business right now. He has a real estate investment company where he flips over 100 houses a year, making millions of dollars. He owns a rental portfolio with a lot of Airbnbs that are crushing it, and multiple other businesses as well. So he's a very savvy business owner. And Ryan's blowing up on social media right now. I've seen it where he started with 0 subscribers on YouTube. I think he's almost at 80 or 90,000 now. So he's definitely crushing it. And it's cool to see how you can see a business owner use social media to create a whole nother business. And actually, I've taken one of Ryan's courses and it was great information. It was very beneficial and very helpful. So I highly recommend you taking a look at Ryan, subscribing to his YouTube channel, following him on Instagram, because you'll get a lot of great information from it. This is Austin Rutherford, where we talk business, finance, and real estate. So I ended up watching the video, and what Ryan said, a lot of things, made sense, and a lot of things that he talked about that I honestly haven't even thought about in my career. So I agree with a lot of things he's saying, but I also have some subtle disagreements with what he's saying. He said that he's buying rental properties in Las Vegas right now where basically his cash flow is a net zero, meaning that he owns a house and he's paying $1,500 a month in mortgage payments, and the tenants are bringing in roughly about $1,500 a month. It's about a break even is what he's saying. So he really isn't making money on his rental properties, but he says he's okay with this because he knows the properties will appreciate long term. And I certainly agree that Las Vegas market will definitely be appreciating long term, but I just can't get away with net zero cash flow. Basically, if a unit goes vacant for 1 month, or he has some repairs to the property, or a roof or a furnace or an air conditioning unit, it means that he's negative cash flow for the year. He's in the red for the entire year. The big difference with him though, compared to most other people, he said he doesn't need the cash flow right now in his video. He said he's creating a lot of money from other businesses. So if things did go negative, things did go red, he has plenty of other money coming in to cover those costs of some potential negative cash flow on a rental property. The problem with not having positive cash flow on rental properties is when something goes wrong, when it needs a roof, or it needs a furnace, or it needs an air conditioning unit, or a window breaks, and it needs work done, if you don't have that monthly cash flow coming in, you can't pay for those repairs. But on the flip side, if you have a lot of money coming in from other businesses, it doesn't matter because that other money can cover those expenses. Me personally, I definitely want some cash flow coming in to help cover those additional expenses because you never know how much those expenses are actually going to be. Now, one thing that Ryan did say in the video, which I agree with 100%, he said that he sees a lot of investors buying houses in middle of the nowhere cities for $50,000 and it's renting for $700, $800, $900 a month. And they're definitely making good cash flow because on a $50,000 house, the payment's not that much and the rent's, pretty high. So they're making a lot of money, but they have zero appreciation in those markets. I don't like this strategy either. A few $100s a month in profit from buying these houses will not make you wealthy. It'll add some to your bottom line monthly, but it's not gonna make you wealthy. And the value of these homes are never gonna appreciate, which is where a lot of wealth and net worth comes from. These markets aren't gonna do that. So in my opinion, you don't wanna buy just on cash flow either. These are great cash flow properties, but that's the only thing they're ever gonna be are great cash flow properties. I personally buy rentals in my area in Ohio where there's definitely strong data showing that houses will appreciate, maybe not as fast as Vegas, but they're definitely appreciating, and we're making about $400 a month in cash flow per door. And like I said, Vegas probably has more appreciation than Ohio does, but if we can get the appreciation and a little bit of cash flow, I'm happy with that, and that's why I'm still investing here. Now, he also mentioned that owning rental properties is a long-term play. You don't get rich day one, which I could not agree more with you. A lot of people have trouble buying rental properties because it's definitely a long-term approach and they want the money right now today. But with rental properties, you can't do that. You do not get rich with rental properties today. A few $100s a month minus vacancies, minus repairs, minus other costs, you're not gonna make that much money on rental properties every year. But 10, 20, 30 years down the line, especially once you start paying these properties off and rent continues to increase, that's where the real wealth is made because they're going to cash flow like crazy. A big expense in rental properties is the monthly mortgage payment that you have to pay. But once you get them free and clear, you no longer have that monthly mortgage payment, cash flow goes through the roof. So that's my plan with rental properties. I don't need to get rich off of rental properties right now. I'm envisioning 20 years down the line when I'm 47 years old, owning, 10, 20, 30, 50, $100 million in real estate. 100% free and clear. I personally don't touch the money that I make from rental properties. There's a bank account where all that money goes, and I use that money to go out and buy more rental properties and build that cash flow. So again, 20 years from now is the future that I'm looking at. Another big thing that Ryan talked about is tax saving, which I agree. That's a big reason why I've been buying rental properties. A lot of people don't talk about the tax savings. They just talk about the potential cash flow. But the write-offs and tax savings that you can get with rental properties are next to none. So as mentioned before, if you have other businesses or other income streams that are generating a lot of income, you gotta find a way to shield some of that money to not pay taxes on. And with rental properties, when you can write off depreciation and interest expenses and property taxes and all those other things, you can shield a lot of that income to save money on taxes, which in theory, technically is making money in cash flow. So if you can save money in taxes, that could be your profit. That could be your monthly cash flow, at least the equivalent of that monthly cash flow. And when Ryan mentioned this in his video, I never thought about that. I always knew I saved money in taxes. You know, that's a big benefit of owning rental properties, but I never put it together like, man, I guess that is the equivalent of making money monthly in cash flow on the rental property if I don't have to pay that money in taxes. So I thought that was really cool when he put it into perspective like that. So overall, I think Ryan's video was very informative to anybody that's looking to get into the business and or is already in the business and looking to grow. So definitely go and check out Ryan's channel and subscribe to it because he's got a lot of great information. In my opinion, unless you have a business that you're absolutely crushing it and making a lot of money doing it, when buying rentals, you have to buy them based on cash flow. You know, again, you don't want to buy the bottom of the barrel, the terrible neighborhood just for cash flow. You want to find somewhere in between where you have some cash flow and appreciation. That's the sweet spot where you want to be at. Because without cash flow, that's how people go bankrupt. When properties go vacant and repairs need done to the property and you don't have the money to pay for those things because you don't have cash flow, that's how people go bankrupt. And the other cool thing with rental properties, if markets go down or up or whatever it is, as long as your cash flow covers your mortgage payment, it doesn't matter if a market tanks because you can still make your monthly payments every single month from that money that's coming in from the tenants. So when everything's going bad around you, when a market goes to crap, guess what is going to save you? Cash flow. Cash flow is king. That'll always save you at the end of the day. So you don't want to over leverage yourself, but you definitely want to start buying rental properties to start building that long-term generational wealth. So Ryan, if you're watching this, keep crushing it. I love seeing what you got going on. If you want to know how I built my almost $10 million real estate rental portfolio with almost none of my own money, make sure you check out this video here and it'll tell you exactly how I did it. As always, appreciate you being here. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.